When you've made the changes to your European squad, could you give us an insight into those decisions and how you reached them?
Firstly, that it's always difficult. And the most difficult that we could only make 3 changes. So that made it even more difficult. So we have Danilo back in the squad. He's gonna, he was unlucky with his shoulder, with that contact and a bad fall. But he's gonna start training next week with the group again. So he will be normally fit for these European games. So that was a logical one. Yanis Hadji, to get him in the squad again, is a very logical one. And Clinton Asiala instead of Nana was also a logical one. Then, so that were 3. And I could not do more. So that's a pity. So the 2 players who fall out because of that is Rafa Fernandez is just here. And we have the other centre backs fit. It was also difficult to keep Clinton out or to take somebody else out for Rafa. And then it should be Clinton because we only had 3. And Oscar Cortes. And with Oscar, it's the same story as with Dani in the beginning of the season. So he was a long time out. It will be more beneficial for him to have a good schedule from 1 game a week and focusing on that, and like this to have a normal comeback than to have every 3 days game and no rehab in between or extra exercises in between. So we need to bring him back in the correct way.
Was it a tough one around Rafael Fernandez? Naturally, when you bring a player to the club, you would want to include him in Europe. Was that
yeah, but I explained them, and those are the rules. So I don't make the rules from UEFA. So he understood the story. And he's going to give his best like he's been doing the last couple of weeks to integrate well into the team. He's doing that in a good way and to prove himself. There are still a lot of games to play in the league and in the cup also. So it's about him competing with the rest and to show his qualities and to grow as a player. He's still a young player with not the experience at this level, but we had already a very good example with Clinton, that things can go really fast if they're very ambitious and they want to work really hard to get better. There's a lot of staff who want to help them to make them better players. So we want to make a story like that with Rafa also.
I'm sure Oscar Cortes is more frustrated than anyone, but how frustrating from your point of view as well that he can't really seem to get going?
No, but it's different things that happened along the way. Different injuries, not connected with each other. Most of them also out of contact. So I hope for Oscar that this 1 year that everything happened, and for the rest of his career he will not have problems, because it's been mostly bad luck.
When do you expect Oscar to be back training?
That will still be a few weeks. So we have a few ones who will come back short term. So like I said, Danny will be back normally next week. I expect the week after Dujon Sterling and Leon Bellingham back. Ritwan is back already in training. Leon King is also back in training after his concussion. And the others, it's a little bit longer. I don't want to put 1 week on it because I don't want to force my medical staff into a corner.
Philippe, well, obviously with Oscar's transfer situation, he signs for the club in the summer. The club's committed to paying the money for him. Some fans are thinking we've not seen enough to justify that fee. Are you still confident that he will be worth the money?
He has a fit. Oscar has proven that. So it's about us as a club getting him fit again. He's still a young player. So for sure he will do that in the future.
Well, Cameron, how excited are you for him coming in?
I'm very happy that he comes. Okay, it's next season. It's part of our plans that we have with the club to develop young Scottish players, or to get young Scottish players with potential, to give them chances also. Lal did already a lot of good things in Dundee. I think he scored 18 or 19 goals already in 82 games, or 83 games for Dundee, so that's almost 1 out of 4. So those are really good stats. He has the right mentality. He really wants to come to the club. We had several talks about how I see him play, what he could do for the team. So we're really happy that he can come next season.
How long have you been in negotiations with him? How long have you been enticed by him wanting to get him here?
You don't need to know everything, but we had enough talks with him that he understands what Rangers is, and of course Scottish players know it more, but you need to live the building, you need to live the club also to know things. It's different. Like for Conor Barron, it was also different to come here and to play, but he knew also really well what this club is about, and we were looking for that kind of characters also, not only good players but also players who can cope with what it is to be a Ranger player and to have the right mentality, and Lyle showed that in the talks.
Why did you make the decision not to try and bring him in this month, and you're happy to wait for him till the summer?
At the end, that's a financial decision, of course.
So not something that did you ask the board to make that call? Did you push the board to try and get him in earlier?
No, we all wanted him to come as fast as possible, but it was not possible. So we need to wait a few months longer. Sometimes it's the case. With Jefte was also the case. We wanted him in January last year. We pushed really hard for that, but at the end it was not possible, and 6 months later it was possible.
How big a shift is it going to be, Philippe, you mentioned there, to develop young Scottish players and bring them in? Is that a big shift in Rangers, something that's been missing in your eyes?
No, I don't want to speak about the past. I was not here in the building in the past. I was not following all the decisions that's been made in the past, and it's of no importance. So there were moments that probably more Rangers players, more Scottish players and less Scottish players in other moments. It's a clear strategy from the club, what we discussed before the season, that it was a very important part. I started last season with that I had to keep, in the second round, 3 players out of the selection. Now I still have to keep 2 players out of the selection. It's not good. It's not good for the players also. It's also for Scottish football important that these young players get chances to develop at this level, and we want to try to help and to push with that.
Philippe, we've seen for a number of years now players signing pre-contract agreements and are still playing with another club for 4 or 5 months. What do you make of that situation? Do you think it's unfair on the player, and it takes a bit of character to see it through, I suppose?
Yeah, we will get to know also the player really well. I want that he performs really well at Dundee, because otherwise he shows also that mentality can drop really fast. So I count on that, and I don't have any doubts with Lyle Cameron around those things. It happens so much now, it's public, but a lot of times these things are not public, and people just wait until it's June to tell you guys that the transfer is made. You guys know also that not all transfers are made in June or July and August with players or contracts made. So it's really open, transparent, it's good. And Lyle will give his best for Dundee. That's also what I expect from him to do, and to show that he's a good player, and to develop also with Tony the next couple of months to come in as strong as possible towards this club. If the player wants to go on holiday now for 4 months because he trained at Rangers, that would be a really bad sign towards me, and he would not be fit also to start the pre-season really well. So everybody benefits when he's performing well, and he will do.
Last couple of questions, please.
Philippe, given that the window is now closed, how well equipped do you think your squad is to compete in the second half of the season?
We as a club wanted more. We talked about that. At the end, we didn't achieve all the goals that we wanted. And now it's about, with this squad, going full for everything we want, and that's to win every game. That stays the ambition. It's a really high ambition, I know. But it's my ambition also in every club that I am, and to keep on developing this group and to make it better. And maybe because we missed something in the transfer window, it will give an opportunity for somebody else to blossom. Can be. Maybe we lose a little bit more time than we expected on the trajectory that we wanted to make with the squad. Can be also, it's about getting the maximum out of the group and to focus on that. And that's what I'm going to do.
Looking at the Scottish Cup this weekend, how big an opportunity is this competition to win a trophy this season?
It's one of the 4 chances that you have before the season, and some are the route is shorter than others, so it's a difficult one to say. We missed one because I'm still on my that will stay on my stomach forever with the penalty situation there with the League Cup. So yeah, this is one of our goals to win the cup. So it's a very important one.